Kentucky beat Vanderbilt at home by 13, but can they knock off the Commodores and be the first team to do so this season in Nashville? Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you here on the College Basketball Preview Show, brought to you by the California Almond Board as we bring in CBS College Sports' Steve Lappas to break this game down. And Steve, you look at these two teams, and Vanderbilt was never really in the game at Rupp Arena. What has to change the second time around?
Well, what has to change is they certainly have to shoot the ball better, and they've got to rebound. You know, when you play against Kentucky, if you don't keep them off the glass, you're in trouble. They're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. And Vanderbilt, that's probably one of their weaknesses, is they're not a great rebounding team. So they got to keep them off the glass and keep them out of transition.
And that falls on the shoulders of A.J. Ogilvy. The experienced player did not play well at Kentucky, was in foul trouble in the first half, coming off a great game against Ole Miss. Is this game solely on in his hands, on his shoulders?
Well, he certainly has a lot to do with it, because when you've got the front line that Kentucky has with DeMarcus Cousins and the way he's played for the most part lately, and Patrick Patterson and Orton coming off the bench, they need A.J. Ogilvy to play well, especially on the glass.
What about Jeffrey Taylor also? I mean, he's the leading scorer. He's the guy that's been a surprise this season. What role does he have to, in a way, take over this game from his position?
Well, he's a pretty good slasher. You know, he gets to the foul line a lot. He scores. He doesn't shoot threes, but he's a guy who's got to get inside. Now, he only averages 5 rebounds a game, 5.3 rebounds a game. So this is a guy who's going to have to get on the glass hard, too. He's not that big. He's about 6'7", but he's a guy who's going to have to fight in there with Ogilvy against Patterson and Cousins.
All right, Steve, when you look at Kentucky, obviously it always goes to John Wall. I feel like every time anyone talks Kentucky, it's going to go to John Wall. More of a disher in the last game. He had 9 assists, only 13 points, didn't shoot the ball that well. Now that he's seeing a team for a second time, are you expecting something else?
You know, I don't know. You know, this is kind of a weird game, I think, for Kentucky. A couple weeks ago on CBS College, they asked when is going to be the first time Kentucky's going to lose. Well, ironically, they lost the next night to South Carolina. But I had predicted they would lose this game at Vanderbilt. So I know he's learned a lot, but he's going into a tough environment against a very well-coached team, and it's a weird place. You know, the benches are on the baseline, so he's going to see something here that he's probably never seen before.
Yeah, that's certainly an interesting part of this, and it's a big reason that Kevin Stallings' squad always has a good home record, and this year is yet to lose at home. Having said that, Saturday afternoon, does Vanderbilt get its first home loss?
I don't think they lose here. I think this team is obviously a great team at home. Kevin Stallings is a great coach. Doesn't lose too often to the team twice in the same season, and I think Wall's going to find a way different environment here than he's used to.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out Saturday evening. Steve Lappas, thank you very much. We'll talk to you real soon, bud.
Thank you.
All right, folks, for more on this game, keep it right here with CBSSports.com. And don't forget the College Basketball Preview Show, brought to you by the California Almond Board. Become a pro snacker this season with a handful of California almonds. For Steve Lappas, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.